Hey crypto friends, for those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Garrett and welcome to Altcoin Radar. Now, since I absolutely love teaching people the basics of trading, today I'm going to be showing you guys two different candlestick patterns to be cognizant of or be aware of when you are trading the crypto market, as these two candlestick patterns alone can literally help you make all kinds of extremely profitable trades. Now, for those of you who love trading crypto and would like to try out the same exchange that I use on a daily basis, feel free to go ahead and try out the Blowfin exchange here with the link in the video description down below this video. I personally love this exchange because they allow anybody from anywhere to be able to sign up and trade crypto futures. So if you are from the United States like I am and you want to trade crypto futures, you can do it right here on the Blowfin exchange. All right, guys, so the two candlestick patterns that I'm mainly going to be talking about here in this video are going to be both the bullish hammer candle and the bearish spinning top candle. These two candles alone, especially on the 15-minute charts, I mainly trade only the 15-minute charts. It works best for me. That's what works best for my overall trading strategy, and it's just what works out for me the best. Now, I pay attention to candlestick patterns a lot when I'm trading because they tell me a lot as far as the overall momentum in the market, the overall momentum in the direction that we're going or are about to go, and the overall amount of the overall direction of which way it could end up going here. So, the first thing we are going to talk about here is we are going to be talking about the bullish hammer candle. All right, so the bullish hammer candle is one of those candles that can be found. It's usually found, it can usually be found at the bottom of a bearish trend before a potential reversal starts to happen. Okay, it basically shows us and tells us that bulls have started to buy and sellers have simply become exhausted. Okay, so the first example I want to show you here real quick of a bullish hammer candle is, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and show you the cheat sheet here. This is a bullish hammer candle. This is realistically what it looks like in the grand scheme of things. All right, so you can tell right here it's at the bottom of a downtrend and it formed right here. All right, so let's go back to the live charts and we can clearly see one in action. So here we can clearly see that, price started to consolidate right here. Let me make these candles a little bit bigger so they're easier to see. As you can clearly see, we kind of consolidated down here a little bit and then ended up dropping big time. All right, and that big drop kind of got rejected and we ended up going back upwards and momentum started to build again, and that formed this hammer candle, right? This bullish hammer candle right here. All right, and it resulted in a move up to the upside. So if you were to have ended up trading that, you would have made roughly around, with 10x leverage, you would have made anywhere between 13 to 17% with 10x leverage. All right. So that is an example of a bullish hammer candle. Let me go ahead and see if I have any other examples of bullish hammer candles going on here. I did mark them out before I started this video. Here is another perfect example of a bullish hammer candle. This one's actually even better. But as you can clearly see, we ended up at the bottom of this downtrend right here. And as you can clearly see, it actually also lined up with where the support level was as well, because I would have marked this as a support level right in here. And we kind of dropped to that exact level, and then boom, it got rejected and we ended up going back upwards and buyers started to buy again, and they really started to buy because it ended up forming a hammer candle right here and we started going straight up. So if you were to have ended up trading this one, and let's say you got in at the entry of the next candle, for instance, you would have made roughly around, probably, realistically, anywhere between 35 to 45% profits with 10x leverage around there. So that's pretty damn good profit just for trading based off of candlestick patterns alone. All right, so let me go ahead and see if we have any other good ones. I think I marked out a few over here. Yes, so here is another one that I marked out. So here's another bullish hammer candle going on right in here as well. All right, we were at the bottom once again of this big downtrend right here, or not big downtrend, but range downtrend within the range. Sellers ended up getting exhausted. We ended up going back up. Momentum was still there, and we created this bullish hammer candle going on right here. So if you were to have ended up trading this one, you know, depending on how long you would have held on to it, if you only held on to it for, you know, just this range right in here, you probably would have only made like around 13% or so. But if you held on to it for the, you know, for the long haul for like 5 hours or so, you would have made roughly around, I mean, with 10x leverage right there, that's about 70% profits right there within 5 hours of trading. So you would have made about 70% just from trading off of this single hammer candle that happened right down here. All right. So let's see here. I think I have one more that I did here on Dogecoin. Yes, I did. And we've got another hammer candle right here. And as we can clearly see, it's the same concept as what I've been talking about in the last few charts as well. We were at the bottom of this downtrend right here. Sellers got exhausted. We created the hammer candle and we ended up going right back up. So if you were to end up trading this one, let's say you ended up selling right here on this first big leg upwards instead of, you know, holding it long term. Let's see here. Within 1 hour, you would have made roughly around maybe like 25 to 27% profits with 10x leverage right there. So that's good, solid profit to make within just 1 hour of trading, guys. So keep that in mind here, okay? Again, these kinds of videos that I'm doing here are for people who trade like I do, people who are after small but consistent gains. This video is not for people who, I mean, yeah, you can trade these candles on the larger time frames, but they're not, I mean, they don't form as quickly as they do on charts like the 15-minute charts. So if you're trading the 15-minute charts, you're going to get these candles on a regular basis, and you'll be able to profit more and more from these various, you know, up and down swings throughout the day, multiple times a day. So if you were to end up hold this even longer, so instead of holding it onto it for an hour and making only like 25% profits, if you held onto it for an extra, you know, hour and a half, you could have made roughly around, you know, maybe around 30 to 35% profits realistically with 10x leverage. So again, that is very, very good, solid profit to make there. So now that we have got examples of the bullish charting or the bullish candlestick patterns, we are going to move on to the bearish candlestick patterns. Now, this one is for people who are not scared to short the market, okay? I'm not scared to short the market. I trade both directions, up and down, simply because why would I want to leave profits on the table, right? So, the bearish candlestick pattern I want to talk about here is going to be the one that I typically see the most often, okay, which is the bearish spinning top candle, all right? So basically what this candle is it can be found near the top of a bullish trend, whether it's a small trend or a very large trend, okay? And basically what it shows is it shows indecision in the overall market between bears and bulls, but it typically favors to the downside, okay? So let's go ahead and see what these look like here. As you guys can clearly see, these bearish spinning top candles, they look exactly like, I mean, you could have guessed it, a spinning top, all right? We've got a thick body within the center, and then we've got two wicks on either end of the body that are, you know, somewhat equal length or so, okay? So as you can clearly see here, we hit the top of this trend right up here. And as you can clearly see, buyers ended up losing momentum, sellers took over. And after this spinning top candle, we ended up dropping. All right. So if you were to have ended up trading this one, let's say you got in right here and traded it all the way to the bottom down here, excuse me, you would have made roughly around 30% profits with 10x leverage right there. Now, here we go again. We've got another one right here. We ended up coming down from our big top peak up here. We ended up coming down a little bit, and then we ended up going back up a little bit. But as you can clearly see, actually right before this bearish spinning top candle, we actually did have a bearish shooting star candle as well. And that would have actually been, realistically, that would have been my first confirmation or my first indication that we may end up coming down here. But the fact that we had this bearish spinning top candle open after that, that tells me even further, and that's further confirmation that yes, we're going to be dropping here. So if you were to have ended up trading this one, you would have made roughly around 23% with 10x leverage right there, which is very solid profit to make in just 45 minutes of trading right there. All right, so we've got another of the same concept going on right here. All right. We ended up going down, and then we ended up going back up to kind of retest, to retest a little area up here. But it obviously didn't hold, and you can tell that by looking at this candle right here and seeing that the wick ended up coming back down. That tells us that, okay, bullish momentum still isn't fully here yet, so that must mean we might be coming down even further. And obviously, as you can clearly see, the next candle that ended up opening was a bearish spinning top candle once again, and we ended up coming down and going down, down, down after that. So if you were to have traded this one and you got lucky and you ended up trading it all the way to the bottom, actually right here is where most people would probably end up getting hung up, is right on this candle, this big green candle that opened up. But this is what I like to teach here, okay, is when you open a position like this, you don't just want to start selling at the first instinct of a coin going upwards, okay? This is why we set stop losses. So if you were to have set a stop loss that's a little bit higher, like for instance, I would have ended up setting a stop loss right at the top of this little range right here, simply because that's, the top of that range. And if it goes higher than that, then it's probably going to go even higher than that. So I want to get out before I end up losing all of my capital. So if you were trading this and you saw this go up like this, but it's nowhere near where your stop loss is, you're okay to still stay in, okay? You're still good for the overall trade, because realistically, the trend that we're looking at is still pointing downwards overall, so you'll want to stay into it. So if you were to have ended up staying in this trade and you stayed in all the way to the bottom of it or around the bottom of it, you would have made roughly around 53% profits right there within a matter of about 6 hours or so. And to make 53% profits within a matter of 6 hours on any given day, I mean, this kind of price action happens all day, every day on the 15-minute charts. And that's exactly why I love trading the 15-minute charts personally, because you get all kinds of different opportunities to be able to trade these up and down swings all throughout the day, all right? So we got 53% right there, and that would have been a very good, solid trade here. Overall, guys, these candlestick patterns, not a lot of people talk about them frequently. There's not a lot of crypto YouTubers out there that actually care enough to actually spend time to actually explain how they work and what the candlestick patterns are all about and what they look like and all that kind of good stuff. But if you are curious to learn more about candlestick patterns, I actually did come out with a video recently 2 weeks ago specifically all about candlestick patterns, and that is it. And you can find it right here. It's called Secret Crypto Trading Patterns That Nobody Will Tell You. And the reason why I titled it that way, it's not for clickbait purposes. I did that because literally nobody talks about this stuff on crypto YouTube whatsoever. So hey, I wanted to go ahead and kind of give that information out there. So overall here, guys, before I go ahead and wrap up this video, if you want to see more videos like this and you enjoy these educational videos that I put out and they're actually helpful for you, feel free to come over here to my playlists on my channel, and I put all of my educational trading videos in this technical analysis playlist. So if you want to see more, just come over to the technical analysis playlist and you can find them all right in there. All right. But overall here, guys, before you guys leave, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the like button below the video, and leave a comment below the video on your thoughts of this video. And with that said, for those of you guys who stuck around and watched this whole video throughout the entire thing, thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I hope to see all of you in my future videos.